Hello, folks. It's Top Gun here, and I've got a good one for you. Can't believe the outpour for these videos, but I can do this easily before I go to work. A few adjustments to the PulseX Math yet again. I will continue to update this so it gets a little more accurate the more data I have. Now, I made the assumption here, so I'm going to do my warnings first, because assumptions are bad. Warning, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment. I do moon math. I'm a college dropout. I only found out there was a difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin in November. If I ramble about math, you'll either fall asleep or your head may explode. You have been warned. Welcome to Top Gun's crypto channel, where pretty much I concentrate on Richard Hart products. So, like I was saying, assumptions are bad. I made assumptions that, hey, people might do the research and check my past videos or see what's going on here. So I better talk about these things in full. So PulseX is a wonderful Richard Hart project, which, if you're not aware, has a buy and burn function built into it. What does this mean? Well, if you think of certain assets like stocks, occasionally companies do buybacks of their stocks to drive the price up when they're doing well with a valuation. Well, imagine, regardless of doing well or poorly, this system will continuously buy back its coins off the market and burn them. Throw them in a dumpster, gone. They're a friendly whale, forever buying the price up and never selling. Okay, so this interested me, linking revenue from a project to its coin price. Alright, I like this. So, warning, it's not financial advice. I decided to look at several factors of how it would impact the liquidity pools. I have upped my game here. This is the what if game that bases all the facts that make up this math. Liquidity pools, they get adjusted over time with the buyback and burn function. So this doesn't look at what the market does. It will not tell you how many people are going to sell because they're going to take profits, and it doesn't tell you how many people are going to buy because they want to get in. It only looks at what the system can do. So I found out some facts. Like, one, that the liquidity pool size I was using was way too small because apparently liquidity is 76 times larger than the pool I had estimated. That slows this beast quite down a bit. Then I noticed the price dropped. There was a sell-off. Oh, alright. So, in order to match that price, the circulating supply of 17.2 billion or trillion, well, I had to put out that percentage to drag the price around to the right amount. So now we're starting to get some nice numbers. Well, I guess like this is some nice X's that we get at 10%. This is including the sell-off. But I went back and did some more math because when I set it to the 10% of Uniswap bullish, like how much business compared to Uniswap did we do? Well, at the time I had picked just 200 million, this one. But really, look at all this. There's been a lot of activity in the last few days. So I thought, perhaps I should actually not just take a snapshot of one day. So here's all the days, 17 days it's been running. This is how many billion were traded through volume. So with the numbers that are in PulseX, this is how much was collected daily in fees. So compared to Uniswap 2 and 3, that's 15.78. So why don't we make that 15.8? 15.8%. And that is just testnet, where it's play money, monopoly money. A good point about this is that, well, there's probably going to be more business when mainnet launches. You also like the fact here that I put the 5-year forecast beside the 1-year forecast. And now you can see 5 years of buy and burn pressure. Not the actual price, but what the buy and burn pressure would make the asset worth if no one had bought and no one had sold. Wow, we're starting to see a lot of built-in pressure that seems to exist in this system. And that's just, again, at 16%. Somebody did ask me in the notes, they're like, I want to see what happens if it gets to 50. And I have had to slow this down with the liquidity pool size. So Here, folks, here's what 25% looks like. These are the green numbers we're looking for. So that is a 28x from your day one sacrifice price. So we'll call it a January 1st sacrifice price. Boom. And wow, 232x built in from the system that it's going to be trying to do to itself, regardless of outside interest. That's pretty nice at 25% of what Uniswap does. We're giving free assets away, so we're trying to steal like half the customers of Ethereum. Oh, and we've got other projects trying to ramp on new users. So somebody asked for a 50%. Let's do it. I'll give you guys 50% on the matrix, and then I'll show you a little bit more about how it works. So, 50%. Wow, that's good for a 60x in the first year and 746x in 5 years. Built into the system with the liquidity at the size it's at. Yes, liquidity can be increased. Liquidity can be decreased. This would change how the buyback and burn functions. These are with average numbers. From day to day, there'll be more business or less business. This can change how the buyback and burn will function. So as you can see in just the crystal ball section, I have it broken into months. Month 5, month 6, and years, and then year 1, year 2. And I take a snapshot of what the price is and how many X's it's been since launch. And here where this little grayed out is, I can feed information back into the what if game of buys or sells in the system if I want to simulate market pressure, which I had to do in one iteration. This is the what if game, where I have different projects, different liquidity pools, different facts about the projects, different fee earning, different scales of what they plan to do with their fees. All right. I have math on Uniswap, how it interacts with each other, like version 2 and version 3, trying to figure that out. Interesting math facts, but what allows me to project the price is just a series of liquidity pools. So the math, I set up the logic ranges up at the top, they change per project, and then I have to have a starting liquidity pool. Once I have a starting liquidity pool, this is me tracking the buy and burn pressure on the system. And then this is the ending liquidity pool. So generally, with that one scaled number, it affects the liquidity to start immediately. But here you can see coins sold. This is where, and profit that will be taken out of the system. This is where that 0.32% comes into play. So these are where I could add more to the liquidity pool or take more from the liquidity pool before the buy and burn function. And then I just stack it month over month, having these interact with each other year after year. So I can look at a bunch of averages and simulate a very rough, very loose idea of what the PulseX prices could be based on the buy and burn pressure. More people could sell than could buy, taking profits. So this could be lower. More people could buy than sell. So this could be higher. This assumes that supply and demand are equal at all times when I run this math. So it's a funny world that doesn't exist because that will never happen. There are always market corrections, up and down, as supply fights demand. So that math that I do is just to show you how awesome the buy and burn feature is, what that adds to the system, the kind of value it throws into liquidity to be taken against or to attract other investors. It's pretty sweet how the buy and burn function works on this. And again, we have it built right into the website. This V2B probably won't be there. Testnet might say mainnet and PulseX.com. So we'll see what the URL is for sure when Richard Hart gives it out, when there's one activating. But here's the burn. It's a public call function. If it hasn't been running in a while, you can click on it. You can activate it. You just click this burn button. And that activates and unleashes the power of this buying up the price. Built into the system. Anyone can do it. Anytime. It'll probably be run daily. Buying up that price. Oh look, we have a total burnt amount so far. 10 billion tokens. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Awesome. So yeah, this is a little price update for PulseX. Some looks at what the future could be like without actual market pressure. This is just for fun to show you a simulation of math of why buyback and burn built into a token is so awesome if that service can generate fees like a wallet or a DEX or a NFT marketplace, anywhere that actually collects fees and then can use those fees to buy up the token to make this buyback and burn function. Yeah, it's to me, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. This is why I'm happy that I got PulseX. This is why I won't be trading my PulseX for Pulse on day one. I think it's going to do wonderful and great things. So if you're holding PulseX, be glad you got some. Be very, very glad, because this is going to be so cool. And oh, it's voting shares. A lot of people are like, why do I care? Why do I care about voting? But to be able to get in on vote and talk about how the project you just bought works, like to be saying, I bought voting shares in a company. I'm heavily invested. Might pique my interest, might want to get me into all assets of this community. That's what it's done for me. And I think there's money to be made in all of it. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I might be on a fast track to the poorhouse and homeless. Only time will tell if I'm right about these assets. About Richard Hart actually trying to better the community. About the usefulness of the DeFi of Hex. About the superiority of Pulse Chain to Ethereum. And about PulseX laying waste to Uniswap. I've made a lot of assumptions, and constantly as I put out these videos, I will show you the changes in my assumptions to show you how wrong I was. I was 76 times smaller wrong for the estimated liquidity pool size, because people can provide liquidity and people have lots of Pulse and PulseX. It's not just the creator that can create liquidity on PulseX. So, a lot of people participated. 76 times more people than I thought participated. So I will show how I'm wrong constantly in this, because I'm learning crypto as I go. I'm sharing what I learn as I go. And there are a bunch of other projects that I like that, I guess I will do a video on, because I don't want to shill. I want to say, hey, you should buy this, but I should probably say, this is why I think they're interesting. This is why I'm watching them. And this is why I have put a little bit of money on them. And I should probably do a video like that, because PulseX, I went all in at the time. Everything I had. Boom. And I'm still very happy I did that. So, at this point, I've probably rambled your ears off for, let's see, what did I get to 10 minutes yet? I crossed the 10-minute mark. Yeah, we're heading to a 15-minute video. So, thanks for tuning in, folks. And remember, if you're smart, you can find me on Telegram, and you can find me on Twitter. I wonder what name I might have used. This is Top Gun Hexadian, signing off and saying,